Greetings, fellow strategists. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld: Inquest of the Dead. Episode 8, A Walled Compound and New Tactics. So to improve corpse piles, I want to be able to have decent designated areas to burn them, as I mentioned before. So what I'm going to do is incorporate the design I had in mind into some of the walls, but I'll do that after the perimeter is done. And we don't even have a complete perimeter yet. I think it'd be worth having a complete perimeter too, in the case that we get hit by like a really dangerous manhunter pack that isn't going to be stopped by shamblers. Not certain I know how I want to handle this. I think I'll just run the entire perimeter. So, I did mention wanting a specific entryway for non-shamblers, but I don't think it will be this river. I think it will be this one because it's straighter and will be easier to use. Which means putting in like an airlock door here. And maybe one here. That'll work. So that's the perimeter that we're going to go for. And then afterwards, we'll do the corpse box over here. So what I'll do is I'll start where it's applicable. I'll start building like corpse housings. I'm gonna say maybe 5x7s. $35 spots for bodies seems reasonable. I'll probably want one over here too, now that I think about it. And this one will be slightly different shaped because of the river. I have to work with what I've got. Something like that. That's 31. Good enough. Do the same over here. And this is so that these areas will be roofed up. Like this. They have multiple points of entry. One choke point for a brawler, shooters back here, and this will be roofed up so the corpses in here are easy to burn. And won't resurrect, so they're not time restricted. So that's sort of what I'm going for in all of these directions. As you can see, we have it in pretty much all the cardinal directions because, as I mentioned at the start of the stream, it's very hard to control the directions that shamblers take because they will just chew up your walls. So I didn't want to have a corpse management where I try to funnel them, because they're basically impossible to herd. Maybe not impossible, but difficult to herd. The other advantage is if all of these are valid points where corpses can be hauled, I don't have to haul it here anymore. I can haul it to any one of these points. They'll all equally be the same value. So wherever shamblers die, there's a spot to haul them that is also not time sensitive to burn them up, which is a huge benefit, I think. All right, your armor is at 19%. Got it. And the balance here is I didn't want it to be too large. If these are too large, it becomes unmanageably expensive as a project. But large enough that they can handle like a pretty decent amount of corpses. So I think 35 is a good balance between large enough to handle high volume, but not so large that the project is like unaffordable. Alright, looking good. So Sakura is cleaning up more of the blight. So if you take a look at our farming zone, it's almost unblighted. And then the base is almost fully unblighted as well. Or polluted, I should say. It's pollution, not blight. This group seems to be shambling towards me. There is a boom rat that is not dead. Kadath, let's pop it. And here is the Pollux tree. With the zone, it has depolluted. So it's working pretty good. And probably the concept here is to, once it's done absorbing an area, just reposition it somewhere else. Just keep moving it around. Where we have areas in the base that could use its work. Like, putting it here makes a whole lot of sense too, because this is like riverbank, fertile riverbank. I'm gonna actually extract it right now and do that right now. So we have this nice little chunk back here, but this chunk back here is like less important than maybe if I plant it right there. Because obviously it doesn't work well with walls around, but right in that spot, it should remove the... And this is slightly less efficient because some of the spots it's trying to clean are already... clean, but at least we'll get like more farm soil, high fertility farming soil out of that, which is why I picked that spot. Will it clean the water? Yeah, it cleans all of the pollution tiles. It's a pollution absorber. It's not like a soil absorber or anything like that. Think of it as for pollution. Good. You're getting a little close to that shamble group. I'm probably gonna have to do something. Okay. Okay. You really just want to wear out your armor, girl, don't you? No, don't kill skip Sakura. So many bodies. So much mental heat. Oh god, where are you going? Don't autocast that. Okay, Sloan. Patch her up. Kadath, get building. And Sakura, self-tend that head bleed. Actually, Kadath, because Sakura is self-tending, I need you to burn some bodies. A lot of bony boys in this group. A lot of full-on desiccated. Which means less lung rot, I guess. It's actually a benefit, I suppose. Not that lung rot's really been an issue for us in our gas masks. Oh, jeez. Hello. Hold up, hold up. And there's one more out there, too. Got it. Okay, Kadath, you get back to building. Sakura will manage the corpses. What armor am I thinking of giving her? Well, when it breaks, probably Sloane's recon armor. And then after that is done, likely armor that we find in the Ancient Dangers on the Ancient Soldiers if they resist or die. Even if it's tainted. Gotta make do with what we've got while we work towards a self-production solution. Right, if you think of this canonically, our Inquisitors were deployed here for a quick investigation, which became a lot longer when it became obvious that this planet was screwed. So, they were not well equipped for like a doomsday level problem, but HQ told them fix it without, you know, any consideration about how hard that might be. Weapons don't break unless you let them decay on the ground, so there's nothing that should decay that weapon unless she drops it and it rots or burns. Alright, I think the bodies have been managed now. There was this one shambler that, like, really never glommed on to the rest of the group, but that's fine. And as far as the perimeter goes, we're like 80%, 90% complete. We have a little bit of work left, but it's getting pretty close. Is there max number of shamblers the game will allow? No. There isn't. There's like some soft code there, but there isn't like a hard cap of shambles. Shamblers be shambling. So we'll see. The answer is I'm not really sure. Oh, hello, Henry. Wow, you came from here all the way in? It's as if you were like actively hunting us. Weird. Henry the Vengeful. Okay, now that makes sense. I gotcha. Alright, looking good. Decent amount of food in the stockpile. Oh, I don't like that. Sloan, tend. And Sakura, bed rest. Because you can't Word of Immunity yourself. We were thinking of making Rascal another protector. Which I still am, but we would need a sanctuary first before we could do that. I'm going to limit the radius for granite blocks wide, but not like infinitely, because I don't need a good running somewhere ridiculous to get granite. I might need to improve or widen the close to home zone to allow some of this granite to be haulable, only in the case that it looks like the area is actually physically safe. Oh, a boom rat. Well, I guess you'll help clean up some corpses. There was another live boom rat out there. Now it's going to be a zombie, obviously. And to answer your question, my understanding, I could double check. My understanding of the Pollux tree is it radiates outwards, kind of like a moisture pump. So the fact that there is clean soil nearby means that... oh no, maybe it doesn't. It cleans 1 tile of pollution every 10 in-game hours. Okay. Well, it doesn't really matter where we plant it as long as there's polluted soil in. That's good to know. And it's unusual that the wiki had such a perfect answer so quickly. Do zombie boom rats explode when they die again? No, because they're not boom rats anymore. They're shamblers. You can think of it that way, is once you become a shambler, you lose any of your abilities that you had in your life, which is not entirely true. It's mostly true. So like a impid shambler isn't going to breathe fire. However, an impid shambler is going to have any of their traits applied. So, for instance, some of these shamblers might have Jogger. I don't know which ones would have Jogger because it's unknown due to mods. But if they did have Jogger, they would move faster than an average shambler. If they had Tough, they would take half the damage of an average shambler. So their personality traits will carry over into their shamble state, which is also true of ghouls. If you ghoulify someone, they keep the traits that they had in life. So, yeah, so not all shamblers are the same. One of the reasons why I made all shamblers baseliner with mods is so that they're all more or less the same. Because if you had shamblers that were like, you know, pigskins and... I mean, the idea of this whole planet was this planet was like a recent colony of baseliners. And it got infested by some singlephages. But yeah, shamblers that are Neanderthal would, like, pose far greater of a threat, for instance, than shamblers that are all, you know, let's say impids. Impids would move faster, but they would die much faster. Pity there's no incendiary shells. I mean, there is. You could get mortars and incendiary shells. It's just... you're gonna have a bunch of, like, flaming zombies that, might not die before they breach your walls. You need medical treatment? Sloan, you're on it. Wow, that was terrible. Yeesh. I mean, it should be fine, but that was, like, some god-awful medical treatment. So good is trying to cut the stones. There's lots of stones, actually. She's cutting, like, faster than Kadath can even use them. Sun Tzu's also helping to build the walls. And we're just finishing up the perimeter so that we can start to work on the corpse boxes. Good. I do not want you having a mental break. That droner is not doing you any favors. Have some ambrosia. And recreate. Because she's such a linchpin of our defense, I don't want her having a mental break and being indisposed during a raid. So I'd rather have her be less productive but ready to be drafted than more productive. How many shamblers do I have in this map tile? 59? Does that count the animals? Yeah, it does. Okay. About 60. If you were wondering. Your armor's at 12%. Got it. The walls are almost done. We just have a few more pieces left, and then we'll start working on the corpse boxes. So I'm going to mark down the perimeter walls. And improved corpse piles is the new priority. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to prioritize the areas that are most affected by shamblers. The ones that are the highest traffic. Which would be like here. This gets a lot of traffic. And then I'm also going to put in slate tiles here as like a fire break. So that this wooden door doesn't catch. Another Pollux tree. Sloan or Rascal? Sloan, you go grit that. Oh boy. They're danger close, just west. Got it. Let's replant this. There. Schedule tab looks like a face. It does. Uh-oh. And assault. Bad timing. Alright. Animals inside. Everyone inside. Sloan. I'm going to have you take off the recon armor and loan it, or rather give it to Good. Because I'm not really sure her armor is going to withstand this entire fight. Now, the other issue is, if we fight these shamblers, these are going to get aggroed. So they're like a 2-for-1 package deal, and not the good kind of 2-for-1. I'm going to start off by trying to hit these guys before they merge with them. Rascal, I need you down here for corpse cleanup. And we're going to have a wall breach to the northwest and to the east. If possible... Whoop! I'd like for them not to aggro. Don't fire at will. Alright, Rascal. You're down here, burning corpses. And we'll probably have a wall breach on the east. So this is what I'm saying, is like, the Shamblers will just chew up your walls, they don't care. There's no concept of, like, luring them anywhere good. They look kind of pissed at me, but I'm not certain. Maybe they're not. Okay, good. You got some bleeds. Nothing actually all that serious. We'll have Sloan tend to you while they breach that wall. And then Rascal, you down here, you're doing a good job. You're almost done burning them all up. It's going to be faster for me to replace the wall than to repair it. So I'm letting them breach. Alright, Rascal, I want you up here to clean up those corpses. They don't look like they're aggroed yet, but they won't stay that way for long. So I'm going to do another zone here called Behind the Walls, so that when stuff goes wrong, like during raids and whatnot, and I know it's not a complete set of walls due to the south, but when stuff goes wrong, we don't have to be on, like, actually inside lockdown. We can still move about the base somewhat. Okay. Sloan and Kadath, let's haul these bodies. To get them burned up, because they're too close to things that we don't want burned up, like our crops. And then this group is getting really close to Rascal, and also, like, blocking the build site, which we're going to need to fix. No, I didn't. Okay. No one saw you. That's good. Sakura, medical emergency. She'll be fine. Animals, you are good again to be outside. So I'm going to need to clean up this horde before we continue this project, because they're in the way. But I might want to clean up the horde from here so that they die, like, in the open. I also don't love that I'm... Because Pollux trees are flammable, are they not? Yeah. I don't love that I'm setting corpses on fire next to a Pollux tree. So, like, that might not have been a good spot. In hindsight. Cheers. All right, everyone's behind the walls for now. Kadath, I'm going to have you patch this one hole and repair the wall. And then we have these guys to clean up. There is a tendency for the Shamblers to sort of like wander towards the center of the map tile, and that's what's going on here, I think. So what I want to do is I want to wait to fight this group until Good is fully recovered. It's going to be in best interest. She has also got a oh god, no. You get inside. She's also got tattered other clothing. So her gas mask is tattered and her shirt is tattered. So let's make her a new gas mask and shirt so she doesn't have the tattered penalties. As far as a shirt goes, plain leather is going to be tougher than cloth. As for her, toughness, armor matters more than anything else. But we got our perimeter. Oh yes, wander away. That'd be great. Get lost. Oh my god, Kadath, why? 99% done. Alright, L-Tech shirt ruined. There we go. Nice and illuminated farm. I also think that once I have an abundance of steel, replacing the wooden bridge with steel ones so that there's no flammability risk there is also wise in the long run. But yeah, these Shamblers are slowly wandering off. What I could do is I can set up the close to home, not to include these spots nearest the Shamblers. And set my people on close to home so that they can continue to cut granite and then work on this one. Yes, I did start on the deconstruction of the wooden walls. I know. We still need to rip up that stuff too. You had like into 5 or something, so you're really leveling up quick, which is great. Having a night crew and a day crew has been terrific. Good's nice and healed. And I'm going to pause the regular stone block cutting because I want granite for the walls. I think what I'll do is get rid of this one in lieu of having that one. Oh, you draw. Thank you for the resub. And I'm glad you like the series. And John, thank you for the resub too. Apparently I missed that. Sorry about that. Quite the expansion. Or we're trying. All right, sector render's ended. Cool. Now, inside of this box, we don't want it home zoned because the inside is going to be frequently set on fire. So it makes 0 sense to bother home zoning. And then we're also going to get like an interesting little land here, like a weird zone. So I think what I'll do is, so it doesn't become a superheated spot, I will fill this in. Because otherwise this little area here, if it gets... I don't want to get it like hyper hot. That would not be good. Okay, it's really important for these not to be roofed up so that the heat that builds up in this room, if it does build up, gets dissipated so that the defenders aren't like burnt to death. And a group of 25. Oh, one with a Gore Hulk. Lovely. And then it's also really important that these doors are left open. So the shamblers can wander in. Otherwise, they're just going to, like, bash walls. I might even need more doors than that. We'll see. And then the final piece of the project is to put a roof over the entire thing so that it's technically indoors and doesn't allow for shamblers to revive easily. Let's also finish up the southern wall. So I'm going to micromanage Gadath so he finishes the steel bridge instead of the wooden one. If they are idle, that it indicates that there aren't granite. No, there's hullable granite. They're just repairing. Okay. A heat wave. Copy that. We already have central AC for our barracks. I'll keep an eye on whether the... let's forbid all of this for now. Whether the research room requires it as well. Are the walls built on steel bridges? Some, yes. Like here. Are built on heavy bridges. Let's grow hops here. DW, thank you for the resub. Rad is still alive? Yeah. Contrary to the odds. So there's a small group down there that's kind of encroaching. But now it's like really come down to how much raw material we can source locally is determining the speed of this project. Which in no way surprises me. I mean, I figured that would be the case. Because venturing farther and farther and farther from the base is increasingly more dangerous, more difficult, more time-consuming. Almost to the point where, like, a deep drill placed just for granite, because we have granite because we can guarantee that we can mine granite like here, for instance, because there's rough granite underneath. Might even make sense in the long run. And I had Sun Tzu grab some wood too. You forgot all about the wood to the north? Luckily, wood doesn't rot very quickly. It's going to take like 300 days for it fully to decay. Ish. Unless there's a fire. Uh-oh. No. Turn back. I have no idea how I caught that before it became deadly. But yeah, that group is too close. And unfortunately, we just have an open wall here because we had broken down our last one. So I'm going to have Kadath focus on trying to get that wall up. Yeah, there's occasionally flash storms, though. So there's no, like, rain or thunderstorms unless there's a forced weather event, but the flash storms can set things on fire. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Inquest of the Dead, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Inquisitors.